The year is 1999, and how quickly things change. The new regulations introduced in 1998, designed to make the cars smaller and reduce grip, had an unintended side effect. The field spread, particularly at the sharp end, widened massively, with McLaren and Ferrari in a league of their own. However, in 1999, whilst they were still the top dogs, the pack had closed in, and McLaren's ongoing reliability issues were making it closer than ever. Of the teams that had closed the gap, the most notable was Jordan, in particular Heinz-Harald Frentzen. After being touted as the next big German in Formula 1, his time at Williams had been a huge disappointment, but suddenly in his first season for Jordan, it was all coming together. He was consistently in the points, on the podium, and he was winning races. With Schumacher missing 7 races due to a broken leg, and both Hakkinen and Irvine struggling for consistency, Frentzen was an unlikely title contender until a fateful error at the European Grand Prix ended his chances. But this isn't the real 1999. This is our 1999. And we're going to see if we can take Frentzen to the title. Welcome to Formula 1 99. Hold on to your ketchup. This is justice for Heinz-Harald Frentzen. Here we go, Season 5 of our retro F1 game playthroughs, the Justice 4 series, as they're known on this channel, and for 99, Justice for Frentzen is an obvious choice, but also the correct one. We just had to do it. So here's how the races are going to be set up for this season. Crashes and spins are of course on. Damage is on full. It's the first time we're using a damage model since the original Formula 1 game, the 1995 season. We always do sprint races in these seasons, so it's going to be 10 laps per race this season. We always go for the hardest difficulty the AI has to offer, so it's expert in this game. And we've got realistic weather on, which this was a feature of Formula 1 97, but it never really scaled for shorter races and it didn't really have that much of an impact in qualifying. Here, it's much more changeable and much more scaled, so it could impact both qualifying and the race. Fuel usage and tyre wear are both off. We tested them and they work quite well on a shortened race, but they also mess up the grid, and I think they kind of make it a bit easy for us to pick up more points than we otherwise would have done, so I'm turning them off to make the challenge a little bit harder. However, what is on is rules and flags, which means corner cutting, jump starts, speeding in the pit lane. We could get penalties, but the AI could as well, so it's a level playing field at least. And speaking of level playing fields, failures. They're off. I think it's the right thing to do. When Coulthard, Irvine, Hakkinen, or whoever our championship contenders may be could have failures and we can't, I don't think that's fair. So it's going to be unusually high levels of reliability for 1999 this season. And finally, grid assist and pit assist are both off. That means we could jump the start or speed in the pit lane. So best behaviour, please. Now, I mentioned in the intro that, the gap at the front was shutting and things were closer than ever, but allow me to immediately contradict that by saying qualifying was a McLaren 1-2, with Hakkinen 1.3 seconds faster than Schumacher and Coulthard just under a second faster. In fact, they'd both been pretty ominously quick all weekend. However, the true standout performers of qualifying were Rubens Barrichello and our own Heinz-Harald Frentzen, qualifying 4th and 5th respectively in their stewards Jordan, respectively. Respect. Jacques Villeneuve put his BAR 11th on their debut. Alessandro Zanardi could only manage 15th in his Williams on his debut, 7 places behind teammate Ralf Schumacher, whilst Marc Genet set a qualifying time outside of the 107% rule in his Minardi. However, he was allowed to start the race because he'd set appropriate practice times. And somewhere in the world, wherever he was, Ricardo Rosset went mental. So we have a sunny Saturday, as expected in Australia, and some of you may notice that things look...
Park rightly calls itself a great place for the race. The track circles a lake and passes right through the city park.
And it is a great place, thank you Murray. Yes, some of you may notice that things look a little bit different compared to the revisit videos. That's because they were filmed on the disc using a PS2. Here I've switched to DuckStation, the emulator, just because the capture quality wasn't as good, whereas this looks pretty sharp and pretty nice indeed. Right, so let's move forward to 18 minutes to go. Okay, so Coulthard is on provisional pole from Irvine. Hill is third, ahead of Schumacher and Hakkinen. God, we've never won a Constructors' Championship in any of these playthroughs. If too early for that, but still, that would be nice. Qualifying in Formula 1 98 was quite easy. I'm hoping it's going to be more of a challenge. The first target will of course be Frentzen's real-life 5th place. So to do that, we need to get in the high 1 minute 25s. 1 minute 25.7 the target at the moment, because times can still progress between now and the end of the session. As always, the driving aids are off, so that's steer assist and brake assist, and we are on manual gears this season. And manual talent as well, as always. I'm coming to the end of my first flying lap after a quite easy experience of Formula 1 98, a slight reality check outside of the top 10, over 2 seconds away, but I wasn't mad. Can't tell you how nice it is to cross the line after the first qualifying lap and feel like I still have improvements to make. Finally, we have a qualifying challenge again, yes! While I'm fairly confident in saying that there are less bugs in Formula 1 99 than there are in 98, I am already aware of at least one bug in this game, and that is the splits in qualifying are just all over the place. Like, we go from being a second down to being 2 seconds up in the middle sector, and we'll cross the line and be down. Like, they literally mislead you so much. They are just wrong. And a little bit of an example of that now as we come out of turn 5 and towards the end of sector 1. Sector 1 I believe is accurate, so we are about 0.08 of a second away from current pole sitter David Coulthard. Not too bad at all. Heading towards Clark, a bit of an example that I've still not got my eye on with the braking on this game. As you saw in an earlier clip, it's very easy to kind of lock up the brakes, so you need to kind of be a bit more considered with your braking. So obviously there, I've lost a little bit of time going wide at Clark. But as we approach the split for Sector 2, I'm apparently 2.3 seconds ahead of David Coulthard, which obviously I am not. Things will correct themselves though for the final sector. Around the 16th and final turn, head towards the line, a little bit of a wheel on the grass, that'll cost me another few tenths, but we're in the top 10 at least, going in the right direction. Okay, so I need to find about half a second to hit our target. Let's... Oh, where's the clock gone? I thought I'd have 5 minutes left. Why is this? Oh, I better get on the track then. I don't want to... Oh, maybe that was a mistake. Oh, God. Thank God. For sake. Really wanted to clear Mika before the lap. And what we might do, actually. Mika, picked off, pal. So, with that advancement of time, the pressure is on now. We head to the end of Sector 1, and up by 0.05 of a second. This is positive, but traffic is now everywhere, and they're not particularly compliant, as you can see. They do not make it easy, but a little bit more confident through Clark at least, and we head towards turns 11 and 12 and the end of Sector 2. Another car we need to clear, a Sauber this time. This might send me offline for 11. We do just get there, back onto the racing line. It's not the best sweep through 11 and 12, but we keep the momentum up. Just 4 more corners to go. There is more traffic ahead though. A Benetton, my former team from last season. Let's get through without issues. Sake.
Stand back, there's been a terrible accident.
I was clearly on a flying lap and he wasn't. A Benetton of all things as well. That was going to be quicker. That's the end of the session. And we drop 1 to 9th. We'll see the full grid on the formation lap, but we only managed 9th. So, a couple of things. Of all the playthroughs we've done so far, it's the first time that's felt like a proper qualifying session from this time, where we're trying to get the lap in, everyone's waiting towards the end, there's a bit of a rush, you've got to think about traffic and again, the challenge is kind of good. You've got to make sure you get a clean lap. You can't just kind of, you know, botch it and end up on pole. So from that perspective, that was actually really fun in terms of a qualifying session. However, the traffic is infuriating. They always do that little jink towards you, and it's like, in the race, to make it like they're defending, sometimes it's okay, otherwise it just looks like they're going to crash into you, and in qualifying, they look like psychopathic. The first race in the 50th World Championship season of Formula 1 was a bit of a wild one. Both stewards would overheat on the grid. Rubens Barrichello would get the spare car, and Johnny Herbert would presumably get a spare seat in the garage. Both Hakkinen and Schumacher would stall their cars before the formation lap. Hakkinen got his car going, Schumacher didn't. That meant for the second race in a row, he would start from the back of the grid. Off the start, the McLarens led away and looked as dominant as they had all weekend. However, something else that had been present for them all weekend were reliability issues. They wouldn't escape them on Sunday. David Coulthard out lap 15 with a hydraulics issue. Mika Hakkinen out lap 21 with a throttle issue. This would leave Eddie Irvine and Heinz-Harald Frentzen at the front, vying for the win. And Eddie Irvine would hang on by a second to take his first ever victory in Formula 1. The top 6 was populated by 6 different constructors, and only 8 cars would finish the race. Schumacher was 8th and last of those, his recovery hampered by a puncture and various technical gremlins that seemed to disappear once he came into the pits and swapped out his steering wheel. Mika versus the Michael round 2 had not started on schedule. Okay. Hakkinen is on pole from Coulthard. Irvine 3rd, Hill pushed down to 4th, Schumacher down in 5th, Villeneuve 6th in the BAR. Okay, so we're 9th, so we're going to be on the next page, behind Ralf Schumacher and Johnny Herbert in the Stewart. Barrichello was sandwiched between the stewards. Frentzen's real-life second is still not out of the question, so we're going to go for that. Real-life second place from 9th. It would be a hell of a drive. I think we've got a little bit of learning to do and adjusting to do. I don't know why, the steering feels heavier on Duck Station compared to when I was playing it via the PS2. It probably isn't. It may just be the fact that it's a slightly different controller. I'm using a PS4 controller as opposed to a PS2 one. I definitely feel like I had more to give in qualifying, and I screwed myself over by advancing time too much. I'm actually a bit nervous. I think you can tell.
Here comes the countdown.
Here we go.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's clear, and away we go.
No!
He's had quite a big moment there.
And immediately we're underway and we've hit a Ferrari. I think I must have been Schumacher ahead of us. Schumacher has been bump started by Frentzen, and a very unceremonious beginning to the 99 season. Oh! And immediately lock the brakes. Oh, this is awful. We're down to 18th. Oh wow. Let me just have a quick check. No damage from that. It's slightly frustrating there's no damage indicator, so you have to do that to check. But okay, right. Let's see if we can clear this Prost quickly. No, we can't. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, move done. Now, safety cars are a feature of this game, but with failures off, I'm not actually expecting any this season. So we won't get that little benefit of the pack being bunched up. In the meantime, Hill is at least 4th, but what an awful first lap. I feel like I was caught like a deer in the headlights for all of that.
If you haven't got your heart in your mouth, then you jolly well should have.
Got my head in my arse, Murray, though, to be honest. Okay. Trying to get around Zonta. We've got the Benetton next. God. Forced onto the grass there by Zonta. And you may notice my voiceover is a little bit quieter than usual, a little bit more spaced out than usual, because I feel like the game kind of sucker punched me. I thought I knew what I was in for, but I was really struggling to go racing. Okay, still finding the limit on the hard braking, because as you saw, you can lock the brakes. Okay, up to 14th at least, this is good. Some fighting up ahead, and that slowed down the Williams of, I'm presuming, Zanardi. Oh God. God, that was messy. How we didn't touch then, I'll never know. To the inside of the Sauber.
Yes, he's going for it now.
Benetton next. Right. See if we can get the run down the main straight for one of these at least. Oh no!
You're saying this wasn't an accident?
No, no, no! And we do have damage on the front wing. I should be okay performance-wise. I think it's only when you lose the wing that it becomes a problem. Oh, fuck sake. What? Why? That seemed like a nonsensical place for him to suddenly, like, really slow down. Benettons. Why is it I'm tripping over all the Benettons? Just because I've abandoned them. Look guys, you had no right to win the 1998 World Championship. Don't be so bitter, you should be thankful. Now let me through.
He's having a look at Fisichella. He's trying to outbrake Fisichella.
Can't really dive bomb because of the locking up of the brakes. So we do have to get a little bit closer than that. This is a horrible place to be close in behind. Right. Oh my God. Oh, okay, thank you.
Yes, he's going for it now.
Oh my God, that Sauber is just holding everyone up. Glad that the Prost of Panis just moved out the way. We are dangerously close to losing a wing. But we're into the top 10 somehow.
This is what I really wanted to talk about.
Yeah, go on. Continue. Oh my God. Hill's dropped to 6th. He's struggling to stay in the points. Bit of an unorthodox place to get the move done, but fine, I will take it. Okay, making good progress up to Villeneuve. And that was a nice move. Hakkinen from Irvine from Coulthard. Michael and Ralph together. We can see yellow, we can see our teammate, and that means we can see the points. Kind of bittersweet to take Hill out of the points if we get there, but ultimately we want to be in the title fight, and 8th isn't the way to start. Okay, it looks like it looks like the top 7 are just all together ahead of us. I think Hill's gotten ahead of a Ferrari. I think Barrichello is looking at one of the Ferraris.
No, I won't say.
It looks like a proper scrap is going on up ahead. Careful, careful. It's the thing with the heavy steering. If you find yourself in the wrong position, sometimes it could be hard to correct it. Okay, Rubens Barrichello is next. In the meantime, Irvine has just... Oh, that's not Irvine, that's a Williams. I think Ralf Schumacher has just overtaken his former teammate in his old team. Hill back down to 6th. We get the run out of there though, past Barrichello. Hill's next. Come on, come on. Get a good run out of there. Oh, Damon. Come on, mate.
This could very well end in tears.
No, it couldn't, Murray. Let's not. Come on, to the inside. We're in the points.
This is the
And we're past Ralf Schumacher. Oh my God. Coulthard, our championship rival from last season. Oh my. Oh. Where is he? I don't know where he is. Can't believe we've made that stick. God, I thought I was in 6th going down to 5th, and I was actually in 5th going down to 4th. I feel like I find it very easy to lose track of what gear I'm in this game, but I don't know why that would be. I don't really feel like that's the game's fault, but I'm definitely doing it more here.
The final lap.
Okay, Hakkinen in the lead from Schumacher and Irvine. We want 2nd for target. Come on.
I'm so cautious about saying anything about him that I hardly dare say anything at all about him.
Oh.
Yes, he's going for it now.
Again, a really weird place to make the move, but we're past Irvine.
Having a look at
Hakkinen's there. We might still win this if we can... Well, if we're not going to get, like, completely roadblocked by Schumacher. Come on. Come on. If we can get the exit out of here. Oh, Michael, what was that?
Look at that, he's taken a shortcut.
No, he's taken a in his pants. Jesus Christ, that was ridiculous. I think that blocking move has just cost us the target. We're going to get the podium. Hakkinen wins in Australia, Schumacher 2nd. That was actually surprisingly stressful. I won't lie. So we start 9th, drop to what, 18th I think it was, and then managed to work our way back up to 3rd in 10 laps, while hitting a Benetton on the way with a bent front wing. I thought this season was going to be calmer. This was what I was, after a 98, I was hoping calm. Hill doesn't hang on for a point. Well, to be fair, we actually took him out of the points. Sorry, Damon. I haven't mastered the handling yet. and the AI and how they interact with each other, because I feel like sometimes the car is a little bit cumbersome and not as agile, and then the AI do that and you need to react, and I had some moments there. So there are the full results from round 1. Hill actually slipping behind Rubens Barrichello, Jacques Villeneuve, who started 6th, slipping down to 9th, Giancarlo Fisichella still managing 11th despite being yeeted into the pit lane by us. These are how the drivers' standings looked after round 1. It is just the points positions from round 1. Nothing further at this time. In terms of the constructors, McLaren start with 12, Ferrari are 9. We only have 4 points as the only scorers, but I think Hill will get in the points throughout this season. So I don't think it's going to be a complete lost cause for the constructors. We might have an outside chance for picking up our first ever Constructors' Championships on one of these playthroughs. We got on the podium, we scored points. Let's see if we can kick on round 2 from Interlagos, Brazil. Can already see the forecast is at least not going to kick up rain for us just yet. Although Sunday, the forecast does say, even says in the manual, the forecast isn't always accurate. So cloudy could lead to rain. Wasn't the cleanest of starts, I will admit that. But what do they always say? It's not about the journey, it's about the destination. Something like that. But we got 4 points, that's all I care about. See if we can get more next time. Thanks for watching. See you soon. The new regulations introduced in 1998 designed to make... I knew you were gonna do something, you blend.